Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Jeroen Flamman about the Party Animals classic Have You Ever Been Mellow. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and very important, also make sure to click the bell button because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Alright, here it is, the story behind Have You Ever Been Mellow by the Party Animals. My interview with Jeroen Flamman. Enjoy! Jeroen Flamman is a Dutch DJ and producer who's active in the music scene since the early 80s. In my previous interview with Jeroen, we already spoke about the story behind the Fierce Ruling Diva classic Rubb It In and more. But Jeroen was also involved in a more commercial project which he and Jeff Porter, a.k.a. Abraxas, started in the mid-90s. The Party Animals. The Party Animals is a pop-gabber happy hardcore group who you might know from hits such as Have You Ever Been Mellow, Hava Naquila, Aquarius, We Like to Party, Atomic, My Way and many others. They had lots of top 10 hits in the Dutch charts and the Party Animals became the very first act ever in the Netherlands to have their first 3 singles all end up at number 1. This makes the Party Animals one of the most successful Dutch dance acts of all time. And these days you can still see them on stage, in clubs and at festivals. For this week's vlog I sat down with Jeroen to ask him about the story behind the debut track of the Party Animals, Have You Ever Been Mellow? We recorded the interview in the beautiful studio of Michael Leroy in Amsterdam. In the vlog about Rubb It In, Jeroen already shared that he and Jeff used to own a record shop when they lived in New York. So my first question to Jeroen was if he could tell a bit more about that.
Well, it was called Septopia Records, and in New York there are shops for buying vinyl, buying 12 inches, but it's very America oriented, so it's very much like the house sound and club sound, and there wasn't much like European imports. I think there was a shop in Brooklyn. I don't remember the name. I think Adam X worked there. We could probably look it up, but so in Brooklyn it was possible to buy like hardcore or European techno, but not in Manhattan. So Jeff really wanted to do that, and I supported him. So we went to New York, and we found a shop in Lower East Side where the basement was still available, so we could run the basement, and yeah, that's where we set everything up, and we were kind of like screwed because we were too successful. Oh. So the owner of the boutique upstairs, he was actually making less money than we were making downstairs. So he kind of raised the rent to some ridiculous amount, like $5,000 a month or something, like something completely. We were like completely screwed over. So we had to get rid of the shop, yeah. And we had to sell it. And actually, the guys who took it over from us, I think we sold it for $1 or something, because it was really just like just like a shop. It turned into Satellite Records, and I think Satellite Records, they had several shops on the East Coast, yeah, in the States, nice. And I think it doesn't exist anymore. But
yeah, so I think Moby was one of the regular customers.
Yeah, well, he lived around the corner, so it was Moby had his home, or his real home studio was actually around the corner from our shop. Yeah, so he would come to the shop every day and just listen to records and not necessarily buy anything or something, but just have a chat.
Yeah, nice. So in 1995 you guys released Have You Ever Been Mellow, which came out under a project named Party Animals. I've heard that the reason you guys started the Party Animals project is actually the track I Wanna Be a Hippie from UK-based duo Technohead. So what's the story behind that?
Well, like I was saying, we were playing in Amnesia. It's like a small club in Red Light District in Amsterdam, like very close to Central Station. And we do it on the Thursdays, the Fridays, the Saturdays, and the Sundays. We're doing many nights, and we were like the gabber hotspot. So at that point in 1995, all the gabbers would come to Amnesia if there was no Hellraiser or not a big multi-groove, whatever, like some big party. There would be the gathering place, and at that point, on Mokum Records, Lee and Michael from Technohead, they released I Wanna Be a Hippie, which was an underground track, like a regular track on a 12-inch, but it became a big hit, and people really, really, really liked it. But as we were DJing, in Amnesia, because it's so close to Central Station, we would also have like a lot of people, like people come early, some people come later, some people come after they go somewhere else, some people come before they go somewhere else. So maybe 5 times at night people would ask for I Want to Be a Hippie, because they all want to hear I Want to Be a Hippie. So we had to play like I Want to Be a Hippie 5 times a night, and it was really driving us crazy. So we went to Technohead, and we went to Fred from Mokum, and we said we really need remixes, because we can't play that song anymore like so many times at night, because it's driving us crazy. So at that point, everybody agreed, and Technohead were going to make a remix themselves. Dano was going to make a remix. We had Martin Dam, Speed Freak from Germany, was going to make a remix. And we were like, okay, we have all these hardcore people. It was Mokum Records, and Jeff and me, we produced one thing from Mokum Records, but we weren't really hardcore or something. So we were like, okay, we're not cannot make a gabber remix or something. But previously, I kind of experimented with Opzij, which was like a Dutch song from a Dutch singer called Herman van Veen, and it was a song. It's really about speed and tempo, and about the speed of life, and about so the song is called like move out of the way, move out of the way, move out of the way. We were in a hurry, we're in a rush. We have to do something. We have to accomplish something. Yeah. I kind of made that song to like a real boom, 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 boom. Just like the Dutch folk, traditional folk bass line or something. I kind of made it, and when we made started making the I Want to Be Hippie remixes, we were like, how about we make a radio mix? Because it's always funny, like established house producers like Kevin Saunderson or Todd Terry or whatever, they would always make their songs, they would always have like a radio mix. So we would think, okay, well, let's make a radio mix. And it was really a joke, because the radio weren't playing like a techno or house or hardcore, especially in those days. So we thought maybe we make like a folk one, like a boom boom bass line, maybe as a gimmick or something. It could be fun for like local radio. So that was a little bit our angle. Like, let's make a radio mix with a radio, because no radio station is ever going to play this. And maybe we target it at local radio, at the beat regional stations. But that song became a #1 hit in the Netherlands, and I think in the UK as well. And in Germany was a big hit, and the video was actually video of the year for FIFA, which was like the German TMF. So yeah, it was a huge hit, and we needed to make a follow-up. And it was a little bit unclear how we were going to do it. When we made Have You Ever Been Mellow, we really thought, maybe we can make it for Technohead, or maybe we can make like a
project together.
A big project together with Dano, and we can make like a night and go through. But it all, that all didn't fall into place. So we ended up giving it our own name we called it Party Animals. And we released it on 12-inch, I think in July or something. And not much happened, because it was like a little bit like the same, a radio mix. We made a radio mix for Have You Ever Been Mellow, but also, maybe with the hopes of it can follow up like a success of I Want to Be a Hippie. But at the same time, radio stations weren't playing that. Okay, I Want to Be a Hippie, a one-time gimmick, fine, but no one's gonna say, okay, here's the big follow-up or something. Mm-hmm. It was really until like a couple of months later, when we Mokum decided that they wanted to have a video, and they gave us a really small budget. So we had a video shot on video. Everybody shot videos on 16mm cameras in those days, the same way. You make a TV commercial on 35mm, your video had to be on 60mm. If you made it on video, with video cameras on videotape without first shooting on film, then you're really cheap. So we really wanted to make like a really cheap clip with like really cheap edits. And we made Have You Ever Been Mellow, and it was completely unacceptable for MTV with they refused video clips that were not made. You had to be 16mm or 35mm, otherwise you would not be on MTV. And then at the same time, we had like a local version of MTV starting in the Netherlands called TMF, the Music Factory. And they were kind of like competing with MTV, but they were also not so interested. But at the same time, there was The Box, which was another music station which we had, and The Box was something that had like a day top 5, and people could call. You could call a number, and you call the number, and by calling the number, you vote for a certain song. So when we made the video public of the Party Animals, it came in available at The Box, and suddenly people really, really liked the video, and people really started calling and SMSing for Party Animals. So Party Animals was suddenly number one in the dag top 5, every day. And in the TMF, they were like, at one point, they needed to have some edge because, MTV wasn't really playing much Dutch local stuff. And TMF really wanted to offer something that MTV didn't offer. And then they noticed how the Party Animals were getting big on the box. So they was like, okay, I think at the end of 1995, they decided to put a video clip of You Ever Been Mellow on TMF. I think we had like Christmas and New Year, so we really didn't know what was happening. But I think it went like to number 18 and straight to number 1 or something.
I've read it took like 3 months to it entered the charts. I think in September, or then it came out, and then like 3 months later, it finally made it to the number 1 position.
Yeah. I mean, it was only because of the whole situation with the music video and the box and TMF, and suddenly we had like all the attention in the world was focused on the Party Animals, only because we were lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it's crazy how things go sometimes.
Yeah, and then because after we did the remix for Technohead, we did like a DJ tour in Germany, like Flamman and Abraxas DJ tour, and we had the boys from the video from I Want to Be Hippy as dancers, because they were the guys who later would become the Party Animals. But one of the things that we noticed when we were in Germany, but people would point at them and say like, oh, like similar. I told you earlier, like sometimes I would walk in the street with the MC from Flamman and Abraxas, and people would say like, oh, look, that's Flamman and Abraxas, and pointing at the MC. The same thing. People in Germany was like, oh, look, that's Technohead.
Yeah.
I say, no, that's not Technohead. These are just boys from the video clip. The Technohead is like a duo from the UK. But, I wasn't a commercial producer. I'm definitely not a pop producer. But at that point, I realized, like, if you put some people in a video clip, people think it's a group. You give it a name. People think it's a group with a name. So you can do shows with it.
Yeah.
So that's when we kind of like started a boy band. Yeah. Without realizing that we were starting a boy band or something. But, of course, it's a philosophy behind every boy band. That when you put some boys in a video, the people think it's a group.
That was clever thinking.
Yeah. No, not clever thinking, but it was really organic or something. It came to us and we like, okay, we have to do this.
Yeah. So I Want to Be Hippy, like the Flamman Abraxas remix that became a number 1 hit in the Netherlands, also in Austria, Belgium and Germany. So financially it was not really a big success for you guys, right?
No, it was like a swap deal.
Yeah.
Or something, yeah. So...
you guys did, so they did a remix for you and you did a remix for them?
No, they never made a remix.
Oh, really?
So it was a swap deal, but we never got our swap.
Breach of contract.
No, actually, we had a lot of problems with Technohead, something in those days or something, but we also kept it like to ourselves because we didn't want to like do a mud fight or something like publicly or something.
Yeah.
But Used and Abused was definitely the answer. That song was is directly aimed at Michael Wells from Technohead. That was my song, thanking him for his...
Oh, cool. So Have You Ever Been Mellow? Can you take us back to the day you started like on Have You Ever Been Mellow?
Even now, when you go to Spotify, you'll see that the names Flamman and Abraxas are actually removed from our remix.
Oh, really?
That's how evil he is. So he doesn't even not pay us any money. He actually doesn't even want to...
acknowledge that you did the remix that made him a lot of money.
Yeah. They actually removed, so he doesn't want to link to our profiles, because when you put the name Flamman, it kind of links to a profile Flamman, which links again to like Party Animals stuff. He really doesn't want that, and so it's like...
and that
really, really sad people exist in the world.
So can you take us back to the day you guys started to work on Have You Ever Been Mellow?
Yeah, it's like, we had this little sound suddenly that became our signature sound or something without it being intentionally or something. It was like meant as a joke. But of course, when you make something like that, people really want you to make something new again. And it really had to do also with the record company in the background, because the record company was also like, okay, well, what do we have to do? Shall we make Party Animals a band or not? Or shall we support them, or shall we not support them and support Technohead instead? So we were really not really aware, but we just wanted to continue doing what we did or something. So, what I really liked was my little stab sound. So I really had this like offbeat chord, like a ska chord that we put. I really wanted to keep that little sound. So that's a sound that we kept, and the bass drum we really liked from I Want to Be Hippy, because that bass drum was actually really designed for us by really like an audio nerd, like someone who will spend like an entire day just to make a bass drum or something. So we had someone in those days like Joris to help us with that, and he was actually from a group called Psychic Warriors of Gaia. So there was like another electronic group from the days, but those were really like techno nerds who were really, really, really busy with their sound and who spent like hours and days making the sound. So we hired like one of their engineer for a couple of days and make some sounds for us. So he helped us make certain sounds. And what was really funny about I Want to Be a Hippie is that we actually used the 303 bass line as a bass line, because like the 303 is very, very famous, I think, from Acid, and Acid, you make like all these crazy melodies, all these crazy accents, put like distortion over it, and then you start modulating by twisting the knobs and all that stuff. And we're like, oh, it's so funny, that nobody ever thought of the idea of just using a 303, like what is meant to be, just as a simple bass line. So then we figured we do that for I Want to Be Hippie. So the boom, 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 boom bass line from I Want to Be Hippie is for the 303, but at the same time, it's a very difficult machine to program, and you have to program the patches and you have to program the song and all that stuff. So with Have You Ever Been Mellow, we kind of dropped the 303 and we figured, okay, we're going to use something else as bass sound. But at that time we were just starting with a small studio in Van der Stadenstraat, and Have You Ever Been Mellow, just one of those first projects. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So was it like an easy track to produce?
No, I mean, it took us, I think, like 3 weeks or something. Yeah. I think we worked like 3 weeks on getting the basics of the tracks. And I think we had like multiple sessions in the studio. I don't think we recorded it in a single day. So we definitely had like a couple of days in the studio. Yeah. It was like a big operation.
Yeah. Who came up with the idea to use the Olivia Newton-John part?
Me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to sit on the couch, and like what I really liked from breakbeat, from new beat, like actually how new beat got started. At one point, some guy he thought like, oh, let me take one of those Giorgio Moroder, one of those electro disco tracks from the 70s, and they played on 33. So they played these like old up tempo tracks on 33 rounds per minute on a turntable, and he got this like boom, boom. A really slow sound, really industrial, heavy, and all that. So that's how they made how New Beat started. Mm-hmm. And when Happy Hardcore started, we were like, oh, let's do the opposite. Let's just take songs from the past and just play them on 45 and see what comes out. So that's what we used to do. We didn't have any vinyl anymore to play on 45, so we went to our CDs and then we found this Olivia Newton-John CD. And Olivia Newton-John, she had this like not same voice, but Olivia Newton-John had this like really sweet, motherly and warm and voice, a little bit like the Carpenters. So we went over her songs, but her songs, were not so fit. And then we found Have You Never Been Mellow? That was a song with like track number 13 on a 14-track CD maybe or something. Mm-hmm. It was like one of those lost tracks at the end. And we like the word mellow because, of course, with the whole thing going on with people complaining about you're either mellow or you're hardcore. That was like a thing, back in the 90s. You're mellow or you're hardcore. One of the two. You cannot be both. So then we thought, like, okay, it's nice to make a hardcore song about mellow or something. And we liked kind of like the one line, and then came some lines of text that were really like, we couldn't use or really boring. Like, have you ever been mellow? Have you ever tried to feel the comfort from inside you? And they're like, okay. Boring. But if you take those two first lines, you put them together. Have you never been mellow? Have you never tried? Have you never been happy just to hear a song? But we were not so happy with. I mean, Jeff and me were kind of like freaks when it comes to details, and we think like a song, the melody must always go up, and you can never have like words like not or never, or you should never have like negative words in a title. So we figured we have to take away the N and make it ever. So then it makes it positive, and the melody has to go up, and they cannot not have negative words in the title. So we made it Have You Ever Been Mellow? That's the one change we made.
Yeah,
and that became our vocal of choice.
Yeah. So who's the singer of the track?
Well, it's a friend of ours called Susanna, and she's actually not just a singer of Have You Ever Been Mellow, but she also sang Aquarius and Atomic and What's Up. I mean, she does all our songs.
Yeah.
She used to be a background singer from Candy Dulfer.
Oh.
And I think we kind of met through my work at the movies, because she was working at the same office as the producer of the film Naar de Kloten.
Oh, really?
But they had an office in the PC Hoofdstraat, and so we were already in contact then, like long before Good to Go was made, and long before Naar de Kloten. So we kind of through the film producer, she kind of hooked us up, like, oh, one of the background singers from Candy Dover, and she was available then, and we just hired her as a session singer, and so she just sang the song for us. But we asked her to specifically sing the song. We really wanted to give like, have you ever been like oergevoel or something? So for us, like oergevoel, maybe like the little when you grow up as a baby, you have this little thing above your crib or something. You pull a little wire and it goes like TDT, 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 TDT. So we figured like, okay, there's melodies when you're a baby, they stick with you for the rest of your life. So we wanted to have that feeling of the little tingle-tangle feeling. So we made the little tingle-tangle melody. And we really asked Susanna to sing as if she was singing to her newly born baby, singing like a goodnight song or something. Yeah. So we really asked her to put all her passion in it, like make it sound, like a what's the name of the girl carpenter? Karen, of course, Karen. Karen Carpenter or Olivia Newton-John. So she really did her best to give that feeling to us. So that was the oergevoel we wanted to give to Have You Ever Been Mellow. And of course, Have You Ever Been Mellow? Have you never tried? Have you ever been happy just to hear a song? Is to also to put people a little bit on the wrong leg or something. Like my favorite shirt back in those days was like a Mickey Mouse shirt. The Mickey Mouse, he had like one eye and like 3 ears, and then had like one leg and then 2 belly buttons or something. But when you're at a rave and you're partying, you think, oh, Mickey Mouse shirt, and only when you, of course, when you're off your face, only when you really look at it, you realize like, oh my God, he only has one leg, he only has 3 ears, and so that was, and in Dutch you call it verkeerde been zetten. So you put someone on the wrong leg. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything in English. But that's what we want to do with Have You Ever Been Mellow? Like just make people like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Why do they make a song about mellow?
Yeah. And it was a good decision because it became a #1 hit in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So did you expect the track to be so big?
No, of course we were hoping, to like follow up on our success of I Want to Be a Hippie, but it didn't happen instantaneously. So that hope kind of like faded away already. So it actually was a surprise when Have You Ever Been Mellow became a hit. Yes.
Yeah. So fun fact, the Party Animals became the first act in the Netherlands to have their first 3 singles to go straight to the #1 in the charts. So I bet that was a massive achievement.
Well, actually 4 if you count I Want to Be a Hippie.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the official yearbook from top 40, you'll see like they'll include I Want to Be Hippie as well. But I think either if it's 4 or 3, doesn't really matter. Like the 3 consecutive hits, it's then at least you're not like a. I think it's like a Dutch thing again. It's called a one-day fly. Yeah. So it gave us the feeling it wasn't just like a lucky shot or something, but we really maybe found the zeitgeist or something, and we really like tuned into like something at that point, and that's all you can do.
So the Party Animals sold tons of records during the years. Do you have any idea how many records were sold in total of all the Party Animals releases combined?
I have no idea. No, but a lot.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite Party Animals release?
Well, I think the first album as a whole, I think I really like the album, and I really like the album is very creative, and we spent a lot of time on the sleeve, and everybody has like a real personal story, and we also had like a lot of we made like a lot of tryout things for tracks that never actually became tracks, but they became like little snippets of like 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and we kind of like turned them into songs as well. So we had like songs, and then we had like a little snippet and another song, a little snippet, and I think there's a big variation in styles on the album. I mean, you have some underground hardcore, you have some like mainstream, like happy hardcore. So I really like that album as a whole, and of course the very first release of Party Animals as well.
Yeah. So when you guys had a #1 hit, then the Party Animals also had to start touring, I guess.
Yeah, and that's when you like kind of like lose control. You lose control over your image. You lose control over things that are happening. You lose control over hooligans. I mean, there's so much stuff happening that then you have to deal with, and so you're being lived then, and like you're running after the facts a lot, and
And of course, when Have You Ever Been Mellow was like a number one, I guess the record company was like, okay, where's the follow-up?
Yeah. For me, that was one of the hardest parts, to like give up on going along to the shows and actually being in the studio, because you need to be in the studio for many, many hours. So I think especially Jeff and yours like really did spend a lot of hours in the studio when I was like on the road, going along with the Party Animals, and I have to, I maybe haven't had all the time available that I should have, or something that maybe spent on the. But I think the first album was really good. Second album good. Third album you already see that it's kind of like losing direction a little bit. So the third album from the Party Animals is my least favorite.
Yeah. So there have also been tons of great gigs for the Party Animals. I think they were even the part of the opening of the Amsterdam Arena.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory of a certain Party Animals gig yourself?
Yeah, like many. I mean, I really like that we were once like. It was I think in '97 was that '96. You had like a couple of big festivals that started to include like the Party Animals and the harder stuff. So then we would suddenly be playing together with like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys or something at Pepsi Pop.
Yeah.
And in Ahoy and in the Kuip, I think at one point the Party Animals were playing football with the Backstreet Boys underneath the tribunes at the football stadium. But there were too many shows with the Party Animals to have like a favorite. Yeah. And we did like 2,000 shows, and we've gone through 7 generations. And the funny thing is, whenever people go back and we get like new Party Animals, first think like, like you have to say goodbye to like your favorite guys that you've been working with for like years, and they all have their personal fans and this and that. But then you kind of realize that every time you have a new generation, it becomes a little bit better or something at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's always been more fun, and with each generation of Party Animals, we have like our individual highlights or something, and our individual unforgettable moments.
Yeah, I'm thinking now, because you probably have people in the Party Animals now that maybe were not even born when Have You Ever Been Mellow came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the Party Animals of today, they're like, the oldest one is 23. I mean, we're now in 2024, so to be still.
I wasn't even born when. Wow, that's fun.
But at the same time, I'm very picky when it comes to finding Party Animals. It's not easy to find a Party Animal for someone who will be able to do that for like a number of years. But it's especially in the last couple of years, maybe since Corona, I mean maybe since illegal raves too, that kind of popped up during Corona with all the kids who didn't feel like staying at home and kind of sneaked out the door and who went to have a rave anyway. So we're like a lot of the kids from nowadays. I had one girl. She came up with she was the girlfriend of a friend of mine, and this friend of mine he was like 18 years old too, but he already came to like a couple of our gigs and stuff. So she was playing her playlist, something from Spotify. And I was like, wow! I told my friend, you coming to us to the shows really influenced your choice of music. He said, no, it was my girlfriend's playlist. I'm like, what the fuck? She almost had like my set, like it was almost like maybe she downloaded my USB stick somewhere from the internet or something. Because she had like really all the songs that I would play. So you really have like many kids now who exactly have the same taste of music that we would have in the 90s or something. So maybe the Party Animals that we find now, maybe they were not born in the 90s, but they are exactly the same type of kids, having the exact same taste of music and the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So next year it's 30 years ago since Have You Ever Been Mellow came out. Do you have anything planned already for the anniversary?
Well, like a while ago it was like 25 years, and we were really like thinking like, oh, we're going to do something special. But then of course COVID came, and we all had to sit at home, and we couldn't celebrate anything. So we kind of did it already, and Have You Ever Been Mellow is nice, but we also don't want to milk it too much.
Yeah.
So what we did was, like, many people have sent us remixes for Have You Ever Been Mellow, and we never really liked it. And also we're not too big fans of like the mainstream hardcore, the commercial hardcore or something. And at one point we received one remix from Dr. Root that we really liked, so we figured, okay, let's do this remix now, and then it's the end of remix season, and now we really want to focus on doing some new music. And we released Have You Ever Been Mellow, the Platinum Edition, with Dr. Root as a little festive celebration remix. Because we figured, okay, it's going to be next year when it's 30 years ago, but maybe then we have COVID again or some other disaster that we cannot do anything to celebrate. So let's already put everything in place now. So I think if people next year want to pay attention to the part to Have You Ever Been Mellow or something, I think we already have all the remixes in place, and we have for the true connoisseurs, we have like a couple of unreleased tracks that were part of the of what it then became or something. But I don't think we need like another remix or another video.
Yeah.
I think we're like kind of done, and I think we have everything in place. If people want to celebrate Have You Ever Been Mellow, we'll celebrate it with them, but I don't think we need to do anything new for it.
Yeah. So is music your full-time job now, or what do you actually do for a living?
No, the music is full-time job, and I'm also a programmer. But when you work in electronic music production, you'll be programming half the time, so there's not really a lot of difference. But I'm very passionate about programming in general, and I've been doing that since 1999. So I've been starting very early, and been managing our own servers and our own mail servers and web servers. Yeah, I've been doing it professionally now for a big company where I work like 8 hours a day for like big clients, and we do like really boring stuff. But I'm learning a lot, and I've been doing that for 12.5 years. I'm scaling down. I'm not now doing it only 2 days a week.
And the rest you focus on music, or?
The rest is focusing on music, but no, for me, music is music is not so much about the music. It's more like a happening or something. It's a social thing. I mean, for music, you need people. Without people, you have no music. So you need to find the right people. You have to, have a chemistry with them. You have to be able to work with them and meet at time. And I think that's what you're building up. And at one point, there will be one song that we make that everybody likes or something, and then people will like it as much as we like it or something. But yeah.
Okay. So what kind of music do you listen to in your spare time?
None.
No. Like nothing at all?
No. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to radio. I don't go to theater. I don't go to cinemas.
Really?
Yeah. I never.
Oh, I'm surprised by that. Huh?
Yeah. I kind of like hope that that's one point. Not getting influenced by anyone and making something pure one day.
Yeah. Oh, but that's good that you decide to do your own thing. Yeah. Oh, good.
No, I have a hearing. My ears are already damaged, so I don't really enjoy. I enjoy listening to the radio or something, but then not when it's too loud, because then it all sounds like like you're talking to a piece of paper. Everything kind of like distorted.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay. So you like it to be nice and quiet.
I don't know why. I really enjoy listening to music when I'm at an event. And when I'm backstage, when I'm DJing, when I'm playing, I really enjoy listening to music when I'm in the car and other people are playing music. I just don't like listening to the radio or watch TV and going somewhere for me is also very difficult. When you organize so many things, and you all your life you walk in and out. It's really strange to go buy a ticket and stand in line. It's something really weird. Yeah. And like hang up your coat in the coat check and stuff.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your time and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was it. This week's vlog, my interview with Jeroen Flamman and the story behind Have You Ever Been Mellow by the Party Animals. Jeroen, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And I did another interview with Jeroen. That one is online already. And in that one he talks about the story behind Rubb It In by Fierce Ruling Diva, another big house classic, so make sure to check it out. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.